JermallCharlo.com, aka Mr. Heiland, your motherfucking boy. So I'm talking about Jermall Charlo versus Sebastian Heiland. This was his first fight at 160 pounds. This was his kind of like a feel-out fight, you know what I mean? But it was a fight against the number one ranked guy in the WBC, or is it number one? I think he's number one, number two in the WBC. So this was Jermall Charlo was coming in, and he was kind of getting a feel for the division, to see how acclimated he could get, with this one fight, and kind of, I think that this fight was the purpose of this fight was kind of to serve as a barometer as to how well he would do at 160 pounds. And I think that he pretty much passed the test, that he had set for himself. I think Jermall Charlo came in there and he was boxing way more strategic and way more careful than I'm used to seeing Jermall Charlo box. He don't get me wrong. He's a very strategic, very savvy, very technical boxing guy, but he's usually, when he was at 154, he was a little bit more aggressive, with his approach, but this fight at 160, I like this. I like this version of Jermall Charlo. He was very methodical, very meticulous with what he did in the ring versus Sebastian Heiland, throwing them jabs and, stepping over, taking a little step over to the right, a little step over to the left, giving him angles, and he wouldn't get too greedy. He would pick his spots because, like I said, I think this fight was kind of supposed to serve as a barometer as to, everything, because you don't know if your power is going to translate up to the higher weight divisions. You don't know how well you'll be able to take punches at that weight division. So you can see that he was being more careful than normal. But I like the style in general. I like this approach. This is the approach that he should take for the most part in every fight. And I predict that he'll be fighting like this at least for the next few fights. Careful, meticulous, measured approach, the kind of, because this fight didn't really say, much about 160 pounds. As many of you know, this guy, Sebastian Heiland, I guess he had some sort of, injury before getting into the fight. Something went wrong with his knee, or something went wrong with his ankle, or some shit like that. And as a result, he couldn't really put any pressure on his, on one of his legs. He was kind of like a one-legged fighter, and a lot of people don't understand how important your legs are in boxing, not just for moving around the ring, but you throw your punches with your legs. That sounds like goddamn Spanish to a lot of people. It sounds like a foreign language, but I assure you that's what it is. You throw your punches with your legs, okay? That's where your power comes from, the real people who know boxing know what the fuck I'm talking about. So if you're missing a leg, your punches have no power. They're just arm punches. You're not going to beat a professional fighter, any professional fighter, hitting them with arm punches. And if you're going to hit somebody with arm punches, then you should at least have the legs to be able to move in and out of the way, outbox someone hitting them with arm punches. You got a lot of famous fighters who, won fights on arm punches. They never knocked anyone out because they were arm punches, but, they were able to move in and out of the way and be busy and that sort of thing. So, Sebastian Heiland clearly had some sort of problem with his leg, and I didn't really like how the commentating I feel like they dwelled a little bit too much on that, and it kind of took away from Jermall Charlo's performance, because I think his performance overall was a great one. I think he did a great job at boxing, taking his time, using his jab, being very consistent with that jab, moving it up and down, and picking his spots to throw the right hand, and just being efficient with his punches. I think he did a real good job doing that, and the commentating, they just spent so much time talking about this guy's leg and shit. Look, he chose to jump in the ring with Jermall Charlo, okay? Nobody forced him to jump up in the ring. If he knew he had a leg problem, he should have called the fight. He should have, he should have dropped out of the fight. That's not a problem that you can get away with fighting with. That's not something that you can just work past. What did he expect to happen, in the ring with someone the caliber of a Jermall Charlo? And you only got one leg. He probably wouldn't beat Jermall Charlo if he had both his legs. If he had 3 goddamn legs, 4 legs. Okay, so you got one leg and you trying to get in there with Charlo. what's the purpose of that? I mean, maybe he needed the money. I don't know the man's situation financially, but logic should tell you with that kind of problem, it's probably not something that you want to jump in the ring with a top quality fighter with, and you should probably call the fight, or drop out or something, because from what it looked like he knew about this problem well before, and I guess according to the commentating, he passed all his physicals and everything like that. You know what I mean? And, but whatever, you know what I mean? He chose to get into the ring. I don't even care about the details. He chose to get into the ring. So, he's forced to live with the aftermath of what happens when you get into the ring like that. I respect the dude for jumping into the ring. I mean, I don't know what his reasons were, but he chose to get into the ring. So I don't want to hear about this man's leg all goddamn fight. I want to hear about what Charlo's doing. And to me, Charlo looked very well. He looked very good. He looked very solid. The man looked very, very, very sharp, and he's going to be a problem at 160 pounds. I'm telling you. And I said this in videos before. The videos that I talk about Jermall Charlo, they don't get a whole lot of views or anything like that. But I said this before in previous videos. Jermall Charlo is going to be a problem at 160. Until them guys from 154 move up to 160, Jermall Charlo is going to dominate that division. He's going to dominate that division. He's going to beat everybody up there. He's going to beat Danny Jacobs. Okay, he's going to beat Triple G. Okay, if Triple G fights him, because I don't think Triple G is going to fight him. I think after Canelo, Triple G's either going to go up or retire. Okay, he's either going to go up or retire. He don't want none of them young guys. He don't want them. He don't want that work. I'm telling you right now, Triple G don't want that work. You don't want no problems with no Charlo, no problems with no Andre, no problems with none of them boys from 154. He don't want none of that work. I'm telling you right now. So, so I predict Triple G will move up or something, and Jermall Charlo will dominate 160 pounds until some of them other guys from 154 decide to move up. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, That's just what it is. But overall, it was a good fight, man. Very entertaining as long as it lasted. What's next for Jermall Charlo? He's not gonna be able to get Triple G next. I mean, he's just not. You know what I mean? I know he probably want Triple G. He called out Triple G after the fight, but he's not gonna get Triple G, man. He's not. He ain't gonna get Triple G. So he should really start looking at other options. I don't think he should step into the ring with Jacobs just yet. I think he should take maybe another fight, maybe another 2 fights in between that one. Maybe with someone like what's the guy's name? The little short dude with the beard. I forget his name, man. I got a horrible memory, man. Fuck. Shit. The short dude with the beard, man. I'm trying to think of the dude's name. I can't think of his name right now. Fuck it. But it's a few guys at 160 that he could step into the ring with that's a little less of a challenge. The Lemieux fight, that's a good fight. I don't think he should take that right away. He should probably take another fight in between that. I think that style, Lemieux, is tailor-made for somebody like Charlo. I think Charlo will pick Lemieux apart. You know what I mean? Just pick him the fuck apart. You know what I mean? But I think that he should take another fight in between that to kind of see how well he takes the punches at 160 pounds. Because his chin wasn't tested at all in this fight. He didn't really get a chance to test his power in this fight or anything like that. He didn't really get a chance. He didn't go to full rounds. He didn't get full work. So he needs another fight, man. He needs another one. He needs another 2. At least maybe another. I'll say another 2. He needs another 2 fights, man, before he starts looking at those guys up there, man, like that. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get a grasp for how well he can handle the power and how well his power works. Because even though he was beating up on Sebastian Heiland took a lot of those punches and he was still trucking. You know what I mean? So that goes to show you, you know what I mean? To me, if Jermall Charlo was a little bit more fully acclimated to that weight, he would probably have knocked out Sebastian Heiland in the first round, because he landed some good shots on this man. You know what I mean? So to me, if he was a little bit more acclimated to the weight and that power translated up a little bit better, Sebastian Heiland probably would have been knocked out round 1, round 2. You know what I mean? So if I'm Charlo, I'll take a few fights, and then after that, it's sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Go after Lemieux, go after Jacobs, and if Triple G is not retired, you know what I mean? Go after Triple G. Shit, or go after him first. You know what I mean? All right, but let me know what you guys think. Hit it up in the comment section below. You could also hit me up on Twitter, box capital X or capital X dot. You can hit me up on Facebook, box minus sign or minus sign dot. Like the video, subscribe, all that bullshit. But until next time, it's your buddy Dynamite signing out. Holla at your motherfucking boy.